My name is Danny Forster, and this is Build It Bigger. Here she comes.
As a designer, I've traveled the world investigating amazing feats of construction.
And right now, I'm going to take you inside a set of buildings that are changing a country.
Azerbaijan is shedding its Soviet past, erecting over 30 buildings a year for the next 15 years.
Something very radical is happening here right now.
Yes, we're saying we're going to create that which is ours.
Starting with a groundbreaking cultural center, housing 3 state-of-the-art venues under one of the most curving roofs on the planet.
The range in different kinds of curves must be an enormous fabrication effort.
It's a nightmare.
And the world's first flame-shaped towers. Over 600 feet of curving concrete and steel will become this country's tallest buildings.
Man, the wind is strong.
Constructed in winds gusting over 90 miles an hour.
Where's she going? We're losing her. We're losing her.
All to create a new identity for this nation.
Oh my God, look at that. That is incredibly sketchy. I'm in Baku, the capital city of Azerbaijan, an ancient country located at the crossroads between Europe, Asia, and the Middle East.
Situated between the Black and Caspian Seas, Azerbaijan is surrounded by Iran, Turkey, and Russia, one of the most conflict-ridden areas on Earth.
Now, for the majority of Azerbaijan's history, they have been consistently under the rule of imposing neighboring empires, both Islamic and Soviet.
The city of Baku was home to the first oil well in history. The Soviets occupied it for more than 70 years, seizing half of the world's oil supply.
But in 1991, with the fall of the Soviet Union, Azerbaijan gained their political independence. And today, almost 20 years later, they're engaged in a different struggle, the creation of a cultural independence.
Relics of Soviet occupation still grip the city's over 2 million residents in the form of thousands of rigid, block-like structures, accounting for more than a third of Baku's skyline.
You see, these were all imposed on us by outside forces. So we were not in the driving seat, we were on the passenger seat, and we've been driven.
Right.
Driven somewhere. That's Azerbaijan's past history. That's what I think.
So it's about putting the past behind and searching for something new.
Absolutely.
Something very radical is happening here right now.
Yes, we have a sense of confidence in ourselves, and we're saying, okay, now we're going to create that which is ours.
Determined to remake the Azeri identity, this 2,000-year-old, oil-rich city is undertaking one of the most ambitious construction projects in history. Spending $6 billion a year on over 500 new developments to transform an area 3 times bigger than Manhattan in just 15 years. They're starting with 2 of the most audacious projects. The world's first flame-shaped skyscrapers atop the highest point in the city, and the Heydar Aliyev Cultural Center, housing a museum, a national library, and a 1,200-seat performance hall. All under one flowing roof, unlike any in the world.
If you look at that building, it talks of our yearning for that which is new. If it was an authoritarian-style building with massive columns and massive stairs, that would make you feel less. That would say to you, you're nothing. You're under this authority.
So the very geometry of the building, the shape, the way it moves as you move around it, that is part of the process of redefining what Azeri culture is.
Absolutely. Find yourself in these movements.
Part of what makes this cultural center just so unique is that it's actually 3 different building types under one single roof. On the one hand, you have a museum, which is basically a sealed box in which to view art. But you also have a library, which is really a silent box in which to read books. And finally, you have a performance hall, which is really a very loud box in which to hear opera. So the challenge becomes, how do you serve the needs of 3 divergent building types who have oppositional needs all under one single roof?
The answer? Architects designed an intricate latticework of steel called a space frame. Rather than being held up by large columns, the space frame's interlocking triangular joints give support by transferring loads through tube steel. By eliminating the need for support structures below, architects bent the space frame in 3 dimensions, allowing them to completely separate all 3 venues. The space frame is an over 9-acre curving skeleton. Weatherproofing it requires over 3,600 individually cut panels, making it one of the most complex roofing projects ever attempted. Today, crews are installing the 2 highest panels, closing the gap at the very top of the roof.
So this is quite amazing because as the building pitches up in the very back, this incredible peak on top of the library, it's that apex of the arch that we're going to install this piece on.
That's it. Yeah.
You quite literally picked the highest point.
This is the highest point. You just came in at the right time, at the right moment.
Have you been up to this height before?
No, I've been up this building many times, but not up this high.
My most important question is, what are we going to be standing on? Because it looks like the blue steel is just totally exposed.
We would not be standing on anything. We would just be tying ourselves to the pipes. Lock ourselves in like mountain climbers, so there's nothing that you can hold.
I actually don't know how we are going to do this.
I really don't know as well. You give me courage. I don't know.
Yeah, if I'm giving you courage, then we're all screwed. Let me make that abundantly clear.
240 feet up, there is just no room for scaffolding. Instead, crews maneuver on top of the space frame, awaiting the 700-pound panel.
Okay, look at this. Our chariot awaits.
Let's go. Kim geliyor.
Clamp into my death. This is a bad idea, huh?
That's a good idea.
This is a bad idea wrapped in some beautiful roof architecture, though, huh?
4 ironworkers have to position each panel with just ½ an inch of tolerance.
Wow, look at this building. From this perspective, you can really appreciate what this building is. I mean, it's a single curve that just bends up, it peels down, it spins around, then finally comes up like a ski slope to make this extraordinary peak atop the building. There they are right there. Look at those guys, the 4 rock stars. All right. Oh, man. Okay, we're coming over top. We're coming over top. The wind is strong. Just tell them to back up a little bit. All right, good. Tell them to hang there. Oh, we're going to slam. All right.
Each piece of tube steel is just 4 inches thick, the width of a balance beam.
The problem is this tube steel. It's slippery.
He's coming to help you out.
All right. Wait, hang on. I think for safety's sake, I'm going to be here. Okay. Whoa. Wow. Let's get my leg up and over without falling back. Yeah. No?
No.
Stay here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're fine.
Tekin is about, I don't have any brothers and sisters. Tekin is the closest thing I have right now to a brother in this world. We don't speak a word of the same language, but I truly love this man.
This roof section spans 9.5 feet. A gentle breeze on the ground becomes a 35-mile-an-hour gust up top.
Here it is, it's coming in.
Blowing this panel up to 6 feet in the Azeri wind.
Oh my God, look at that. That is actually incredibly sketchy.
The crew has to line up a bracket on each corner with 4 bolts on the space frame plate.
Just think about the precision that these guys have to deal with right now. This isn't just finishing the framing at the top of the building. This is the weather seal. This is this impervious, seamless edge that keeps water from getting into a library directly under where I'm sitting.
With the bottom corners now locked in, workers hinge the over 7-inch thick panel down to line up the top 2 corners.
Looks pretty good. No?
One corner is off by about a fraction of an inch. Now, they can't modify the custom-cut panel. Instead, they're bending one of the bolts.
It doesn't quite fit right now. He's using this pipe to get it just right. Oh, look at this. It's coming down. It's coming down. Our Turkish blood brother knocking it out. Is he in? Is he in? You get it? Yeah? My boy's taking the crane off. So as you can see right there, the weight of this panel is now resting on the space frame. The arch is completed. with 4 of the most amazing ironworkers I have ever had the privilege of hanging out with. This is Baku, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful.
Up next, to build Azerbaijan's tallest skyscraper,
We're going to the max.
Max every time.
one of the most mechanically advanced cranes on the planet.
Oh my God, I love this crane so much. It is such a weird little device.
Azerbaijan is known as the land of fire. And just 8 miles from the capital city of Baku, naturally occurring flames scorch the landscape.
Now, those flames were the result of huge underground deposits of natural gas and oil, which has powered the redevelopment of this nation. So, to commemorate that, at the very highest point in the city, they're building 3 enormous towers in the shape of flames.
3 miles from Baku's new cultural center, the world's first flame-shaped towers. Rising nearly 800 feet, these 3 skyscrapers are the tallest in the country. To give them the appearance of a flickering flame, architects designed curving facades covered in 18 acres of glass. But to lift the over 10,000 glass panels, workers have to contend with another force of nature: wind. Gusts off the Caspian Sea can reach 90 miles an hour.
The wind is ridiculous. I'm getting nailed with it right now, which means you have a tremendous amount of weight that's going to be pushing horizontally against these buildings.
Right, the wind loading on the building is the highest I've ever seen. It's higher than hurricane areas like South Florida, where I used to build. I mean, sometimes we lose 10 days out of the month because the wind is just so strong that the motors on the crane can't move the load.
Baku literally means wind pounded. This town gets hit with non-stop powerful wind. And the one part of the flame towers that really has to deal with that wind are the glass panels. 10,000 individual massive panels that under normal circumstances would get hung with a tower crane. Big tall crane, super long cable, be a huge problem in the wind. So instead of using a tower crane, they're using this, something called the spider crane.
Outside, tower cranes swing with a fixed arm over 260 feet long, vulnerable to hurricane-force winds. The spider crane, however, is protected inside the tower. Only 9 feet from end to end, this is one of the most compact cranes in the world.
Ugur, it's really important because as we speak, right now, the tower cranes are all shut off.
Yes, yes.
The wind has exceeded a certain speed, and beyond that point, work is stopped.
Work stop.
But even on the windiest days in Baku, you can still hang panels.
Yes.
You see that? The spider crane cannot be stopped by wind. It doesn't fear the wind the way tower cranes do. I do have a question, though. Important question.
Okay.
It's called the spider crane. Why is there an image of a crab? What do you think? It's a crab.
Crab?
Isn't it a crab? Don't you think it's a...
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Is it possible this is actually the crab crane and someone mistakenly called it the spider crane?
No,
It's a spider crane.
by the crane.
All right, fine. You're insistent about that one. It's a spider crane. No one has to look at this anyway.
Don't eat
Yeah, exactly.
everything.
We'll cover it up. Just don't disregard it. It's a spider. We'll just get a little marker, put a little. No one will see. Okay. So, is it difficult to drive?
No, it's so easy. Firstly, start your engine.
Start your engine. How about this guy? You said you don't speak English. You're doing IndyCar racing.
Basically like a tank, the spider crane glides along 2 8-inch wide treads,
A little 180 action here.
allowing a single operator to position it at the very edge of the tower.
All right, come on, spider crab.
Okay, it's good.
We're good.
It's good.
Spider crane.